It's the Jake and Ben Show. 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 Oh.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Jake and Ben Show. I'm Jake, and I'm here with Ben, as always. And this is episode 11, following our long,
our humongous,
our very long episode 10. But I think this week we're going to be keeping it a little shorter than usual, just because last week went so long and that was exhausting. So slower week this week anyways. We have a few things to talk about, but as always, Ben will kick it off with the topic, and we'll go from there.
I'll hit it off with a question.
Ooh.
Are you a fan of the Terminator?
I think the ones I have seen I am a fan of, because I've only seen the first two.
Okay, so that's all you need to see. Don't watch any more.
That's what I've heard. That's why I've only ever watched those two. So
here's what's going on. There's a Terminator somewhat reboot going on. Now, it's not a total reboot. It's retconning, similar to what Halloween is doing. That's coming out this year. It's retconning 3, Salvation, Genesis, all the ones that came out. It's retconning. So it's going to take place after 1 and 2. It's continuating that. It's a continuation of that. And that was supposed to come out July 26th, and it's been moved to November 22nd. Now, I don't care about the change in date. I wanted to talk about this here, but I haven't had the chance to. So I figured, hey, we can talk about it. You may hear Terminator reboot, and why do I care? Because the past 3 movies have been shit. And I'll tell you why you should care. Is first off, the director, Tim Miller. He's the director of Deadpool. I trust in that. And it may be, okay, maybe you hear, all right, just Deadpool, maybe you didn't like it, maybe you did. Or maybe that's all you hear, and you're like, I don't know, maybe he was just a one-hit wonder. I have faith in him. And now this is one where I could see if you don't care about this. Because a producer title, what does it really mean? James Cameron is producing this one. Now, before you say, what does it really mean? He's been more involved than ever with this one. Him and Tim Miller, they sat down, they talked about the story they wanted to do, and James Cameron did have his input. Now you may say, hey, wait, James Cameron is the guy who said Genesis was going to be the best Terminator movie. Now, let's forget about that, but I have faith in this. Do you care at all?
I don't really care. Just because I said, I only seen the first 2. They're great movies, but I don't care about all the new ones. James Cameron, I remember when Genesis was coming out, how he said about Genesis is the true sequel to T2. It was something along those lines, and I remember seeing interviews with him before the movie. Not before Genesis, before other movies I saw, like at Cineplex or whatever. And he was talking it up a lot. And I mean, I think James Cameron being a producer, even if he is really involved, means nothing, just to me anyways, just because he's lost my trust from Genesis. Again, I haven't seen it. I think I may have seen like the first 15 minutes and then fallen asleep of Genesis, but I have no interest. I don't even know if I'll see it. I didn't go see Genesis in a theater. I fell asleep. It was on Netflix or whatever. So I don't care. Tim Miller, I mean, it's interesting because, he is an up-and-coming director, if you want to call him that. He has one film at least that I can name of his. I don't know if he has any other films under his belt. I'm sure he does, but I haven't seen them. So, sure, I'm interested to see what he brings to it, but I don't care, just in general.
Maybe, I doubt this will get you intrigued more, but Linda Hamilton is coming back for it. Of course, you got Arnold there. And somebody who's been cast was, I believe her name is Mackenzie Davis. She was in Blade Runner 2049. She was the character who, I forget her name in there, but she was the one that was a part of the whole sex scene in there.
Okay, I mean that's another like cool little tip. Yeah. I like Linda Hamilton coming back. That's pretty awesome, but I don't know. I'm sure I'll see it because like lately I've been seeing everything. Okay. So I think I like that I've been doing that. So I'll probably see it, especially if we're going to be doing this podcast still by then, which I hope we are. Yeah. Then I'm sure I'll see it.
I think we will.
So yeah, I don't know.
Not to go off too much, but you mentioned like going to the movies and seeing a lot of things. Now, the past 2 years, I've spent so much money at the movie theaters.
Oh yeah,
seeing so much. Like it's been every week, And I love it, but it's like, man, I'm blowing so much money going.
Yeah, I mean, I think about it like I feel guilty on spending money on like food and stuff, especially when I have like a fridge full of food, but like I go out and spend $20 on sushi for lunch or whatever. But fuck, I say or whatever a lot. I was listening back to last week's episode, and or whatever are like my two most popular words. But I digress. Yeah, going to the movies, I just like you spend, I don't know, $12 on a ticket, and you support what you love. So your money's going to a good place, and it helps. Like you go to the movies, you spend the money. It helps encourage this show and whatever else you do in the future. So I love spending money at the movies. No problem with it.
And the only time I don't is when it's a shit movie and I don't like it. I'm like, my god.
Yeah, I know, but at least like
exactly.
If it's like shitty enough where it makes for a good segment on our show, I'm fucking down for it. Like 50 Shades Freed, I didn't care that I saw it because I enjoyed my rant and I wouldn't have had that otherwise.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I over-exaggerate there. When I walk into shitty movies, I don't go like, I just spent this much money. There's only one time that happened in the last like year and a half. It's when I seen The Circle. Came out like April of last year. So, about a year ago.
Never saw it.
It was,
That's the Tom Hanks one, right? Tom Hanks, Emma Watson. John Boyega.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of great actors in there, but terrible movie. Awful.
Okay. All right.
But you know what?
Let's
move on to something else.
Sure.
You a fan of Black Panther?
Yes.
Yeah, we talked about this a lot, so I'll go with it. Black Panther is now the number 3 all-time domestic, keyword domestic, a movie of all time, passing Titanic. I'll just throw that out there. We talked about it a lot. Congratulations. There you go, making all the money in the world.
I have a question for you. What's in front of it? I know The Force Awakens is.
Well,
right?
What's in front of it now at number 3 is Avatar's number 2, domestic, and The Force Awakens is
so it's Avatar. 1. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. But The Force Awakens, yes, for domestic-wise, is by far, I couldn't see a movie coming out anytime soon beating. It's at like 950-something million domestic. Avatar's, I think, 750 around there. Oh,
shit. That's a big jump. Yeah. Okay, what's Black Panther at?
It's 659.5.
Okay.
I think, it's around there.
Sweet. Yeah, that's cool. We've been talking a lot on this show about Black Panther's success, so maybe at this point just beating a dead horse, but a little shout out. That's cool. Yeah.
Well, if you're a fan of Black Panther, guess what? He's in Infinity War. And if you want to talk about numbers, so early tracking.
That was a good segue
for Infinity War. And you know what? I'm not gonna recognize it too much. I'll keep going. Don't worry. Because if somebody's listening and then I recognize it, and maybe we think it's good, somebody thinks it's shit, and they're like, "Oh, what an idiot!"
Fuck them. They're wrong. That was sick. Okay, so, go ahead. Sorry.
Infinity War. There are early trackings come out, and with tracking, it's not always right. Sometimes it is, but here it is. For the opening weekend, it's tracking for between 170 million to 200 million opening weekend. Now, if you think, hey, that sounds low, listen, any movie to come out and make 170 to 200 million, there's only been 5 ever to make 200 million, so that's fantastic. However, I think Infinity War is going to come in at around 226 million to become the number 3, I believe number 3 highest opening ever, behind Last Jedi and Force Awakens. What do you think about these numbers? And do you have any predictions?
I think so. What were the numbers again? That the range, it was 150 to 200.
170 to 200.
Yeah, 170 to 200. You're going 226, eh?
I'm going 226.
Yeah, I think 170 to 200 is probably on the low side. I like your 226, but I would say I'm gonna drop you 10 million, do 216.
See, and even if it does 216, I still believe that would be the number 3.
Ooh, so there's so then there must be like a noticeable gap between.
Yeah, what it is I could pull up the numbers now. Just don't mind any clicking.
That's all right. I've clicked in this podcast before. It's the style.
You know what? Yeah, you talk about what you think about it and more of your prediction while I look this up.
All right. Well, actually, I'm going to talk about something a little different. I'm going to talk about where is Hawkeye, because I know I haven't been watching the trailers, but today I was making lunch and I noticed I had bananas on my counter, and sorry, this is a little bit of a tangent before I get back to my point. and kind of a fun idea. Anyways, I had bananas on my counter, and I noticed that there was an Avengers Infinity War sticker on it. It's like, I don't know, you know how the Star Wars shit is everywhere?
Yeah.
Well, I guess like this Marvel shit's everywhere too. Like I saw Thor on the box of some Shreddies or something while I was at Walmart too. Anyways, I saw Black Widow on my bananas, and I thought, how funny would it be if Hawkeye was in no promotional material, but he was the sticker on my bananas? He wasn't, though. It was Black Widow. But then it got me thinking about maybe Ben has an idea where Hawkeye is, because I don't think we've talked about it.
I have an
too
idea where
in-depthly.
Hawkeye is.
Okay, he's not on my bananas, so
I'll tell you where
is
he is. I'll tell you where he is.
Okay.
A lot of people, and with recent promotion, they're like, where the hell is Hawkeye? Hawkeye was in, I believe it was the Comic-Con. He was in one poster, one only, but he's like a small little piece of one of the humongous first posters they put out. Now, if you want to go on to speculation, for big movies now, I try to avoid any speculation, because I don't want to go in with, or theorizing, I should say, because I don't want to go in with like a false, a false sense of expectation of what I should be getting. But, speculation is nice. I don't think Hawkeye is going to have a humongous role. I think he's going to be in the movie maybe like 10, 12 minutes and have a bigger part in 4. Where he's at, I mean, I know there's rumors, and maybe they've even confirmed at this point of, I believe he would like become, I want to say Ronin. No, not the Guardians of the Galaxy Ronin guy, but I don't know my Hawkeye history. If there's, a big comic book sweaty out there, you can correct me. I believe the name would be Ronin. Now, you have any thoughts where Hawkeye is? Do you care where Hawkeye is?
I see. That's a good point. Do I care where Hawkeye is? I think I do. I feel bad for Hawkeye sometimes, just because he's the man with the bow around all these heroes and with superpowers. Even though, I mean, Scarlet Witch is in the same boat. Not Scarlet Witch. Black Widow's in the same boat as him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, yo,
give me a break. Black Widow is in the same boat as him, but like I never feel that for Black Widow. I think it's just because like I like Black Widow a lot more as a character. She's a lot more badass. I don't know.
Well, Black Widow also had more time to shine, like Iron Man 2, The Avengers.
That's fair. I've seen
Winter
more
Soldier.
of her.
Yeah. We've only seen small bits of Hawkeye. I was watching Civil War again recently, and like when Hawkeye comes out, I'm not like cheering for Hawkeye, but I thought, like, you know what? I mean, Jeremy Renner, he hasn't had much to do with Hawkeye, but from what he does, I do dig it.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that's very underappreciated, I think, in the MCU is the acting. Just because like it's such an ensemble. I don't know if we've talked about this before, but I've mentioned it before, maybe in my private life with other people. It's just like it's such an ensemble that a lot of the acting gets, swept under the rug when compared to everything else that's going on in the greater MCU. But like everyone, especially like Robert Downey Jr. in Civil War, like holy shit,
amazing.
So good. But yeah, Chris Hemsworth is also incredible. So anyways,
yeah. Well, I think pretty much across the board, the casting for the MCU has been spot on. It's been amazing.
Definitely. Yeah, that's definitely one of their strong suits for sure. Anyways,
now to get back to the numbers,
yes,
I got to correct myself, because if it comes in at 226, it would become the number 2. So at number 5 is Black Panther at 202. You have Marvel's The Avengers at 207, Jurassic World at 208. So you can see there's a big gap from 208 to 220. Yeah, and then you get, which 220 is The Last Jedi, and The Force Awakens at 247. I don't think it has. Well, okay, it has a shot to dethrone The Force Awakens. I just think it's a long shot. I think it's gonna, if it has any chance of beating one of these, I think it would be The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I don't even
Which even then, I still think that's a hard task.
Yeah, Last Jedi's 220. 220. It might come close. I think it's gonna go right under The Last Jedi. 216 is my number. I'm not changing it.
Yeah, and okay. With like Black Panther, I think early projections were like 120, 130. You get a week out, and they're like, all right, maybe it's at like 170, and then it goes to 200. The thing with Black Panther is they put out the reviews, and I don't think reviews were good. Like, if it's good, then good reviews will help Infinity War. I just think it's such a huge spectacle that people will be there. However, they're not screening them, like doing a full premiere, I think, until like 3-4 days before the movie comes out. But I don't think that's going to play a factor, because with The Force Awakens and Last Jedi, their premieres were like 4 days, 3 days before the worldwide release of the movie. It didn't hurt those at all. So what I do find interesting is that, I'm not sure if you've seen the post, I'm not going to read it off, but I'll paraphrase what it was, is that the Russo brothers, they put out this post. It was a neat thing, and they had the gauntlet in there with the 2 stones, and it was saying that, hey, in the coming weeks, coming days, we're going to be kicking off our full-out promotional tour. We're going to be doing fan screenings, and they're only going to show a little bit of it. They're not going to show the full movie. They're not going to put any big spoilers in there, but look out and don't be an asshole. Don't spoil it for anybody, because you wouldn't want to spoil it for you. And I thought it was a cool little thing. Did you see this piece?
No, I haven't heard of that, but no, that's definitely a cool thing to do. Fuck. I want to see this movie so badly.
And speaking of that, this is one thing I want to mention. My protocol nowadays is I'll watch the teaser, I'll watch the first trailer, which in this case, Avengers, it was, I guess, second trailer. I did watch it. However, I've stayed away from everything after that. But it's been so hard for me, because I've been seeing TV spots everywhere. And I've been running from them, which I haven't caught any of them yet, but TV spots is what scares me, because you only have like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and you put so much shit in there that you're going to get something big.
Yeah, the Last Jedi TV spots I avoided, and I knew like there were big things in there that I did not want to see. So no, I haven't seen any Infinity War TV spots. I haven't even seen the newest trailer, so I am not going to watch those. I was at the movies the other day, and they had like the little pre-show thing with Infinity War, and I saw some new stuff that I saw a joke with Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Where,
that was in the second trailer.
Oh, was it? Okay. I mean, I wish, I'm going to see the movie anyways. I don't want to have jokes ruined. Jokes especially, because, they're only funny for so many times. And then it just ruined. Yeah, so whatever. I wish I didn't see it, but I'm avoiding TV spots for sure.
Well, hey, if that's the only thing you saw of the trailer, then congratulations. Congratulations.
Ooh, all right.
Yeah. So we can move on here, because, Avengers Infinity War, it's coming out in 3 weeks. We're going to be talking about that a lot. You know what I do want to talk about is a movie I mentioned last week, and it's a movie I wanted to save to talk about because I wanted to talk about with you, and that is Ready Player One. You saw it. What'd you think of it?
I was surprised how much I dug it. It's really good. I saw a lot of mixed things from some critics that I respect or I watch more regularly, and so I had the expectations that we're in the middle. I try and forget expectations though as best I can, but I knew you liked it, if I remember that correctly. You were a fan.
I did like it. I tried to play it tame, where I try not to give you a gauge of where I liked it, but now I can say I loved the movie. I was so surprised, like you. I didn't like the trailers. I went in I feel like the Oasis is just gonna suck me out of the movie, and I dug it. I loved the Oasis. I thought it worked, and I thought it was such a fun time.
It reminds me of Osmosis Jones. Have you seen Osmosis Jones? I believe that's what it's called. I have not. Is that what it's called? Where they go inside the guy's body and then it becomes cartoon. It's like, or other movies do that, where it's live action and animation.
Yeah.
It's a live action movie though, but why did I all of a sudden forget the name? What's the game called in Ready Player One?
The final, the end one?
No, just fuck, you just said it.
The Oasis?
The Oasis, okay.
Yeah, there's so many video game references in here, and you see something wait, are we talking about an actual video game?
No, sorry, the Oasis. Yeah. When I saw the trailers, the Oasis had, it's got that kind of wishy-washy CG where it looks like a video game, but I mean it is a video game, and it plays out a lot better in the movie than it does in the trailers. All that, all the characters, avatars, I guess, they work a lot more in the movie, and you get that I'm glad that I didn't know too much about the Oasis, but it is a video game in their world, more or less. It's like an RPG kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I like that it has that style of CGI, and I think it works really well. I was surprised with how well everything in this movie worked for me. All the references to a bunch of other pop culture elements were not too obnoxious, and the movie didn't depend on it. I was scared it was just going to be like, look at this, look at this, look at this, get it? But the movie works beyond that, so that was nice. And oh my god, the Shining sequence is amazing.
I was just about to ask you about that.
Holy fuck, it's so good. Yeah, I loved it. Like, the blood at the elevator, and I don't know, we're probably spoiling it, but like,
you know what? I say let's try not to spoil too much, but you've already been spoiled for something, so we'll give a light spoiler warning.
Well, there's blood from The Shining in this movie. That's the biggest spoiler you'll get. But without going specific, the relationship with the two leads, I heard a lot of people not digging it. I thought it worked fine.
Yeah, I thought it worked really well.
Yeah.
Especially if you, in our day and age with social media.
Definitely.
With talking to someone online and not knowing if they're actually this person they're portraying or putting out as they are. So I thought it was a cool dynamic. There was one thing that I thought was I thought it was goofy at first, but it didn't take away anything from the movie, is that when they're in the Oasis and she says, like, oh, you'd be disappointed. And then spoiler alert for this part, is that when they finally meet, I believe Olivia Cooke is the actress. And okay, I get it. They're, it's a Hollywood movie actress, and, it's a Hollywood movie. She's an actress. You got your actor. She's very beautiful. So the birthmark is like, that's nothing. That is nothing. But it didn't take me out of the movie. I just thought it was kind of goofy.
I don't know if that's even the angle they were trying to do, because they do set it up with, you don't know what I am.
Well, you can tell that she's self-conscious about the birthmark.
Yeah, no,
with
for
how
sure.
She acts hiding with the hair.
But I don't think they're trying to do that bait and switch on you.
No. Yeah, I didn't. It wasn't such a big plot point, but it was just something that I thought, I was like, okay, that's it's like not funny because obviously if people are self-conscious, but she's such a beautiful woman that this birthmark is like, oh yeah, whatever.
Okay, yeah. See, that didn't bother me one bit at all. But
and it didn't bother me within the story. It wasn't the story that bothered me. It didn't take anything away from it. I thought that part was like, okay.
I see what you're saying. There are things that bothered me though.
I want to hear what bothers you.
There's 5 main characters that are part of this team. 2 of them don't say anything until the very end, really, until the last 20-30 minutes.
That was probably my biggest, I guess, issue with this movie, is that, okay, you start with this dynamic of the 2, I guess, main friend. Well, the one main friend and then obviously the other lead. And they have their development. You understand why, but then these 2 other people show up and I'm like, wait, who are these people?
Yeah.
Are they just random people? And then apparently they're friends, and I didn't care anything about them. Because you see them
briefly, when the first challenge is completed, they complete it shortly after, and they mention who they are in narration really quickly. And then you don't really get a sense of who they are or anything until the very end. They're like, who's the main character in this movie? The one guy, I forget his name, comments like, oh, you're the most badass 11-year-old. He says that to him. I'm like, wait, what? I feel like there's a bunch of deleted scenes involving those 2.
Yeah.
Especially because that badass line makes no sense to me. But I think this movie would have worked with the main 3.
Yes, I don't think you needed the 2, but,
It's probably just it was a book thing, and they just translated it to the movie, even though it didn't work.
I gotta ask you a question.
That was my biggest complaint, probably.
You can add more, but I have a question instead. I heard Steven Spielberg, before the movie came out, talking about would there be any Star Wars references, and he said it. So I wouldn't consider this a spoiler alert. Things he said it before the movie came out. Is that how a Lucasfilm, Disney, they were, generous. Anything they asked for, it gave. He said there was an X-Wing and R2-D2 in the movie. Did you spot an X-Wing or R2-D2? I was looking out the whole movie. I didn't see it, but there's so many things that you miss within a first viewing.
No, I didn't see that. If I knew going in, I probably would have looked for it, but no, I don't remember seeing an X-Wing or R2-D2. I remember seeing a Hello Kitty.
One thing that I put a big smile on my face when I saw it. It was in the race, and you see the 1960s Batmobile from the Adam West Batman series.
There's a few
that
Batman references in there.
Yeah,
for sure.
where you see Deathstroke, Harley Quinn. I guess full spoilers, but you see them in the trailer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Batman. So I dug the Batman stuff.
Yeah, for sure. No, I liked all the references. I've seen with references that I really loved was when Ben Mendelsohn was, offering the money over to who's the main guy? I keep saying the main guy. I forget his name.
Okay, I don't remember his name in the movie, but I remember his real life name is Ty Sheridan.
Yes, Ty
Sheridan. Don't
Sheridan's
remember
character.
the character
When
name.
Ben Mendelsohn is, bribing Ty Sheridan's character, and he's referencing Ferris Bueller and the high schools they went to in Ferris Bueller and the Breakfast Club. Do you remember this scene? And then he has the earpiece in. I fucking that's the scene that stands out as one of the best. I loved that so much.
Yes.
When Ben Mendelsohn was Ben Mendelsohn, he was great. Another thing that kind of just bothered me a little bit is when Ben Mendelsohn was in the Oasis. His avatar was just so cliche and weird, like the big dude in a suit, and then TJ Miller's character was goofy as hell.
To me, it definitely stood out as obviously typical, but it just seemed like this is because it looked like Ben Mendelsohn, his avatar, but it was what he would want to look like, much bigger.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
it was something that it was goofy looking, but to me it worked for that reason because it looked like him. And I'd imagine if you're somebody like a Ben Mendelsohn, you'd be like, this is what I want to look like.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just when he first showed up, I was like, oh, this is kind of goofy. And then TJ Miller's character, I don't think he was as funny as he thought he was, but I like playing on the he's has a skull as a torso, but he's also bumbling idiot. Yeah. But, anyways, Ready Player One.
Well, yeah.
Strong 7 to a light 8. Yeah, I was impressed for sure.
Yeah, I would say I'm at a 7.5 with
yeah, me too. I'm probably right in there. Right at 7.5, so.
Very enjoyable. If you haven't seen it, I say go check it out. Give it a chance. Yeah. So I was talking to a few friends. They're like, I'm not going to see it because it's just going to be fucking porn for guys in their 50s, and they just weren't thrilled with the trailers. And I was like, hey, listen, I didn't like the trailers. I seen the movie. I loved it. Give it a chance. I think people totally should.
Yeah, no, for sure. The trailers suck, but the movie's great.
All right, so here's a question. Last week we talked about Unsane, Steven Soderbergh's iPhone filmed the movie. Did you see it?
I did see it.
Now, my question is, would you like to give us good people your thoughts on it? Because I have not.
Okay, I will give you good people my thoughts, and I'll try and be brief about it because I'm not sure how many people actually care about this movie, even though I care about it because it's definitely an experiment. I mean, it's not the first movie to be shot on a phone, but it's probably my favorite movie that I've seen to be shot on a phone, and that might mean nothing to you because you don't know what phone movies I've seen and how much I enjoyed them. So, this was I saw it the last showing at a theater about an hour from me. It was the only theater within an hour radius that was playing it, and it was the last day it was playing because I kind of left it until last minute to see it. But I saw it, and Steven Soderbergh said you won't notice that it's shot on a phone, and you will notice it's shot on a phone. Especially, I was trying to pinpoint what it is that's so jarring about it. There's of course the qualities of a phone. You have your highlights are really, really blown out, and there's that stuff. But I noticed when watching it, every cut is way more jarring than a cut should be, and it's nothing to do with the editing. It's not wrong with that, but every new shot is a new shot you've never seen before on the big screen. So you have to adjust every time it cuts to seeing this whole new world because it's a phone, right? So once the shot lingers for a while, it becomes oh yeah, I'm watching a movie and it's normal. I noticed that for the first 20 minutes I was watching it, it was really hard to get into it just because I was thinking, oh, this is a phone, and especially every time it cut. But after a while, and the story starts to find its footing, and you get used to it, it's really interesting. I think it's a solid movie, and the whole phone element to it, I don't think is a gimmick because it plays in so well with the story that it's telling and with the characters. you're supposed to question if the main character is insane. The promotional material was like, is she insane or isn't she? Which is a little goofy because like the answer's kind of obvious if you watch the movie. But just the idea of insanity and, you know, they're in this, not asylum, they're in like this mental hospital, and it works with the phone. I dig it, especially like the way it starts to get more graphic near the end and the content starts to mature even more. The phone element works so well, and yeah, it's good. There's the ending, like the last. Okay, no spoilers, but there's like a little tagline that comes up. You know, like it does like the 6 month later, the 1 year later thing or whatever at the end, and there's a little like recap thing at the end, like epilogue. Oh man, it's bad. It feels like a media study student's first project. And like it does like everything's super dramatic, and it even has a freeze frame with a zoom, and it does not help that it's shot on a phone. I couldn't believe how terrible the last like 5 minutes are. But I have no clue why it exists. It doesn't have to be in the movie, but it's legitimately awful. There was some unintentional laughing in my theater from a couple guys in front of me. But like that shouldn't take away from the rest of the movie. They do some great stuff, and I would totally recommend it.
If you were to rate it, where's the fall?
If I were to rate it, I'd probably give it a 7. Just a clean, solid 7. They're like closer to the end of the second act, beginning of the third. Well, like the third act minus the ending is really great. Like it's great. And even like the latter half of the second act is really great. So like the slower, kind of more jarring beginning and the awful ending, with all that balanced out, it's a solid 7. It's a good movie, and I would recommend it. Especially if you're curious in the phone thing. If you're just interested in filmmaking in general, there's no reason why you should not see it.
That sounds like a good endorsement. I will have to check it out myself.
Yeah, whenever you get
might
the
have
chance,
to wait
for
till
sure.
yeah.
Might
have to wait till it can rent it. But you know what? It's on the list.
I'm happy I got to talk about it, and I'm happy I saw it because it's definitely interesting.
So, you know what I saw? I'll give you a guess out of the movies that came out this week. You can just guess. What did I see?
Peter Rabbit.
Actually, it was Blockers.
Oh, Blockers.
It was not Blockers. I seen A Quiet Place.
Yeah. Okay. I'm super interested to know what you thought. I want to go as soon as possible. So
yes,
let's hear it.
So, with that, I'll probably say similar things to like how I did with Ready Player One. I don't want to talk too much because we will talk more about it when you see it. However, I'll start off with saying that again, it's a young year. Out of the movies I've seen, it is number one, definitively number one from what I've seen. I love this movie.
Wow, and you're not a big horror guy, right?
And I'm not. I love it. I feel everything that it does, like every little element in it is done so good. The sound design, it is amazing. There is I don't want to go into spoilers, so I'll be careful with what I'm saying. There is a character in this movie that is deaf, and the things they do when you're following this one character that's deaf with sound, and then when you're with like John Krasinski or Emily Blunt, who aren't deaf, I think sound design amazing. The score, it's not big bombastic, but it's great. It's great, and it has amazing moments to it. The family dynamic, it works, and there's things that it says within being a father, and I'm not. What do I know? But it seems like it's trying to tell you stuff about being a father, and this family, it works. This world where you have these aliens. The aliens are.
I did not know they were aliens.
Yeah, and it's not so much like okay. I guess spoiler alert, but they don't go on to say definitively where they came from, but it's more of like they're aliens. That's it.
Okay, you know what? I didn't know that, and I feel like I should be upset about knowing that because I was so curious about the mystery of those things, which I guess I still am. But that makes me more excited because I'm a huge sci-fi fan, and aliens are the shit. So
now here's the thing: is with aliens or monsters. Like it's been done a lot, so it's to be original with certain aspects of them. It can be, I guess, hard. There are familiar beats to these aliens that you've seen before, but presented in new ways, and they work, in my opinion, amazingly. The perfect. No, not perfect. I won't say perfect, but they work really good. They work really good.
Damn,
Yeah, I'm not going to say spoilers of what makes them unique, and call me out once you see it if it's unique. I do believe it's unique, but what's done with them is amazing. What is done with this family is amazing. This story, and it's only like an hour and a half. It's nice. It's short, but it doesn't feel short. Like you get your money's worth with this movie.
Awesome.
From the moment it starts to the moment it ends,
I want to see it
you
tonight
weren't
now.
into it. I think it's composed beautiful. The shots are beautiful. The directing is amazing. I'll say the performances are amazing. I'm hesitant to say this because I didn't do my own background research on this, and last time I said this, I was wrong.
Okay.
Because of somebody, but a certain reviewer I heard, which was not the same person. And I stayed away from reviews, so I only listened to like the first minute of this review, and then I bounced. It's that this guy said that the girl who plays the deaf child in the movie is actually deaf. I can't 100% say that, but if that's the case, thumbs up, because it's definitely believable. I don't want to say too much because we're going to talk about it, but okay. I don't even want to give a score because I don't want to like get
I don't want to score
so
right
high.
now. I don't think I need a score from that review anyways.
Yeah, I don't want to give you too much because like I don't want to send you in there with sky high expectations that come out like it was good, but I thought it was gonna be bad. I think the movie is amazing. I think you're gonna love it and again, I could be wrong because sometimes we do have a divide, but I think this is a movie definitely up your alley.
Yeah, because I mean,
really want to talk about
horror, sci-fi. Those two genres are my favorite genres. So like a new horror movie with great trailers, like fuck. Yeah,
and I don't know if this is too much of a spoiler, which it shouldn't be. The title is called A Quiet Place. The movie's quiet, and why, I guess I'll go on to saying why I even mentioned that is, so I went early. I went at 10:45, and so the movie starts, and you always get the few people that come in as it's starting, and there's this mother comes in with her child. And she sits down. She's right in front of me, and within the opening, there's such tension and drama going on within this opening that when there like something happens, and as soon as this happens, she takes out her phone full brightness, and the screen cuts like black, but it's such a quick thing. Her phone, because obviously it's dark, it's so bright, it's just direct eye line with me, and I'm like, what? Whoa, Jesus Christ! So it takes me out for a second. And all the big... this movie's not built on jump scares, but there are a few that are there. And the ones that hit, this woman just hysterically laughs. And it doesn't seem like a genuine laugh. It seems like, people that when they're scared or something happens or they injure themselves, they just want to laugh to mask it.
For sure.
It seemed like that. She starts hysterically laughing, and nobody, like, everybody's like, what the fuck? This woman just hysterically laughs, just, ha, ha. And it's like, what the fuck's going on here? And she's with her son, so, like, I'm contemplating, should I say something or should I not? Like, she's with her son, just fucking, I'm going to embarrass the son here. So he's trying to watch this movie. He's maybe, like, 10 or 12. So I decided not to say anything, but it was so annoying because then the ringer's full blast going off, and it's like, Jesus. And then there's this other guy in there, and okay, my thing, if you're sick, just stay home. This guy was coughing so loud, it sounded like he was going to cough out a lung. Sounded like he was dying in there. It was disgusting. And it was just like for 5 minutes straight, just coughing. Just one of those like sounds like a fireball's about to come out. And what are you doing here? Just go home, rest. Like see it when you're not sick. Those theater experiences. Yeah, that's why I mentioned it was like it is a quiet film. There's subtitles. It's quiet that when you hear these sounds, it's not big and big sounds that can mask these annoying sounds. And even so much to the point you get people like when they're chomping on their popcorn, just so loud, throwing their hand in there. Like hopefully this isn't annoying, but Like that kind of that times 10. It's so annoying.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just makes me think. I'm thinking of this movie. Okay, if we're in this world right now, everybody in this theater is dead, except for me. I'm over here so quiet, not making a peep. Everybody's so loud, which it made me think. In this movie, I'm like, if I were in a world where I had to like not make a sound, I'd be so dead within a day. I make so many noises. Just it's a little thing. Yeah. Anyways, it's a great movie. Go check it out if you haven't. I read online. It's not the confirmed number because it's only Saturday, but it's on pace to be number 1 in the box office this weekend with 45 million. And
That's
behind
solid.
that, yeah, Blockers with 20 something.
Blockers. You gonna see Blockers?
I've debated seeing Blockers. I've heard good things.
Me too. Surprisingly, I'm gonna see it. I
Yeah.
think, but I gotta see A Quiet Place first, obviously.
Yeah, like if you see it and I'll hear what you say, I'll hear it. Like there was a friend that was gonna see it yesterday. I don't know if he did. He didn't want to, but his girlfriend wanted to go. So I'll hear from him if he went or not. But like I'll watch movies. Like I don't need endorsement to watch them. I watch them anyways. But sometimes endorsements will get me out sooner than what I normally would.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a place for endorsements in that kind of thing. But yeah,
Now
I'm more
I
excited
gotta
to see
say-
A Quiet Place than ever right now.
Oh, dude, it's for me personally, last year we had Get Out around the same time, which a nice, unique film. It is a great film. It is a great film. But for me, I'll just compare it a bit to A Quiet Place, considering time, genre. I do think A Quiet Place is better, in my opinion. It might not be your opinion when you see it or anybody else's, but for me, I think it is a better film than Get Out, which, not to take anything away from Get Out, I loved this movie so much. I loved it. Amazing. You know how I felt about Logan last year. I have the similar feeling to A Quiet Place as what I did with Logan. And if you don't know, I loved Logan.
Yeah,
It was
for sure.
one of my favorites of last year.
For sure. All right.
So I got to say, we're doing good on time. Before we started recording, you mentioned that you listened to our podcast last week, our number 10, and you wanted to say something, but you wanted to say it while we recorded because you didn't want to repeat it. Now, we're good on time. We don't have to go over it, but I did put the tease out there. So people are going to be like, come on, we got to hear it now.
Okay. It's actually not what I thought when I listened to last podcast was the thing we talked about before when I was suggesting the pop filter and whatnot. But what I wanted to tell you before we started recording, because I wanted to save our whole conversation for just like when we get on Skype, even like casual small talk, I like to just keep it in the recording. So get on Skype, say hi, and then record and have our conversation on there. That's what I like to do. So
I have a question though.
Okay.
About this one.
Okay.
I'm not going to say nervous about this one coming out, but it was a long one. It was 2 hours and 30 minutes, and we recorded a little bit later. And I don't feel like I don't feel like I'm the type of person where I like to what am I trying to say here? I say things. I mean them. I don't take them back. Whatever it is in the moment, it is. But I feel like we talked about some things that maybe people didn't care about. I thought it was good conversation, but I wasn't sure how it would turn out. Now, I talked to one person who listened to it.
The whole thing?
Yeah, one person listened to the whole thing. I was like,
woo!
You got to tell me what you think. And more specifically, the last 40 minutes, because I don't know if it's too inside baseball. Do people care about this? And now this is only one opinion. Now, this one person said they dug it, that they liked it.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I like that.
So that is good to hear. That is good to hear. But I was somewhat nervous of it coming out because I wasn't sure, like, was it worthy of an episode? Which I've been told yes so far.
Okay.
Which
two things.
I believe in what we put out, but I was a bit nervous if it was too inside baseball, the latter part of it.
Yeah. All right. I got two things for that then. Number one is the thing I wanted to say to you earlier was just when you texted me. Oh, no, sorry. Not when you texted me. Yesterday, my girlfriend asked me, when are you and Ben going to record the episode tomorrow? And I thought, holy shit, it's Saturday already. It feels like just yesterday we recorded the 2.5 hour one. Just because I was still recovering from that big episode. So I was like, this is here now? Oh my God, I'm still exhausted. I feel like I can't say anything. That's what I wanted to tell you in conversation, but I thought, I'll just wait and tell you while we're recording. Secondly, about in the inside baseball thing, and was it maybe too niche of a topic to discuss? Like, I assume you're talking about when we got into the stuff about the schooling and the tips for editing and all that.
Yes.
My standpoint on it is we're only 10 episodes. Well, this is 11, but we're only 11 episodes in. So what we are, our brand and our style hasn't really been established. So, we're still kind of molding it. So what we're finding is that, our personal lives and just the lives of actually making films is bleeding into our conversations on the podcast. So that's kind of what our podcast is. It's we talk about movies, bigger movies, and how we feel about them and how we feel with the news. And then we talk about our personal projects and how we can improve our personal projects and, what filmmaking means to us and that kind of thing. It's just kind of involved in the conversation that way, because it's not like we've done 100 episodes and never mentioned schooling or making movies ourselves, and then all of a sudden we do an hour topic about it. It's like we're 10 episodes in. We've dabbled in it here and there. It's just we went for so long, it just came up longer. So I'm happy that the person you talked to dug it, because I was quite a fan of the conversation, and I'm sure just like if you're into movies, you'll enjoy it enough.
Well, exactly. When we were recording and in the time, like we don't do the scripted. We like to give our thoughts here and there. I mean here now in the moment. So when we talk, it's genuine. We're not faking our reaction to what we think of something, or even like we don't talk about it before and just like, hey, do you like this? Yeah, we'll talk about it when we record. And with that, like for 2 hours and 30 minutes, you're going. You can't just stop and be like, hey, we'll edit something here, put something here, or let's script this down. These are our thoughts in the moment. So I thought that it was good conversation. It fits in. And it's not like we are like movie news, and we talk about news things, but then ourselves, what we think about this. I like to be as personable as possible. I'll give you an insight in my life. I like to do that. I'm not afraid of to tell you what's going on with me. So, which is why I liked the conversation. I thought it was good conversation. Just like the next day, I was like, because with me, we'll talk an hour. Out for that case, 2 hours and 20 minutes. And I'll forget most of the stuff we talked about because it's just so in the moment and we're going over it. Like, I'll remember main things, but then I'll be like, what did I say here? Did I sound like an idiot here? Did I there? And, I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm happy that at least one person so far dug it. And, we're good on time.
For sure.
So,
yeah, we're good. All good. I don't
see, something like that. Something like that right there is I feel like I went on a spiel that I did not have to. And then I worry to myself, wait a minute, did I just sacrifice like 10 minutes of something that was good there? And which is my inner conflict that I have.
No, I've never thought whenever you've gone on a rant or a spiel about something, I've never thought afterwards like, what the fuck? We did not need that. What a waste of time. I've never questioned anything. Even myself, I don't think I've questioned. I mean, there's been some things where I'm like, oh shit, I could have said that better. But for the most part, I'm happy with what you and I have had to say, and even though I say or whatever a shit ton and I say a lot, but whatever.
Like don't get me wrong, I'm not trash. I'm gonna say I'm happy with what we've put out there. I'm just concerned with who's listening, if they enjoy it. That's what we're here for. It's to give our thoughts and hopefully people enjoy it.
I think it was episode 9. I don't know, one of our more recent episodes. I was just on YouTube. Not many people watch it on YouTube. We have more subscribers as like on Google Play and iTunes, but there was a comment on episode 9, I think, that said, great show, guys, or whatever. So there's another, I didn't know who it was. I didn't recognize the person in real life. So someone who just stumbled onto the show seems to like it. So that's awesome. So of course, thank you to that person for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
This is just a weird segue into the comment question thing. We didn't get any except for that. So, if you have comments or questions,
we would love them, and we'll put time into it.
Yes, we will. We will always make time for questions or something that needs to be responded to at the end of the show. Is usually where it lands. And Jake and Ben Show on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. That's where it is. You'll find it. So
yeah, we'll get out of here. But so the person who commented on it was actually the guy who told me that he dug the last one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is my boy. Well, my boy. He is a friend. He's a pal.
It's your boy. Don't worry. It can be your boy. But
I would say my boy. I just don't know how he'd feel about me saying my boy.
he's my boy then.
Okay, before we get out here, I gotta say, with Seeing a Quiet Place, John Krasinski, Chris Evans, take the beard away. They look like, like kind of like Boy Scouts. Obviously they're men. You can see they're men, but they have the boyish look to them. You put that beard on, there's some masculine men.
The beard does wonders. Have you seen the picture with Chris Evans and the mustache?
The mustache. Okay. If we want to go inside baseball again for a second. So last Monday, we're in our editing class, and me and a friend, Max, as you know, for the last little bit, we've been doing partner stuff. So we had to do this, we had to put together this commercial, and there was a latter part where we had to put on a logo at the end, and a little title card, and it didn't have to be serious to what the product was. So what we did was he took the picture of Chris Evans with a mustache and put it on as our logo, and it was I thought it was hilarious. It was funny because we put on a slow. So it was a nice slow a fade up to it, so it was beautiful.
That's beautiful. That's a $5,000 education right there. That's beautiful.
It is. That's all what learning how to edit. $5,000 education. There, it's all about Chris Evans and the mustache. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
Is that an old thing?
I don't know. I saw it online and I thought it was hilarious, but I didn't question it. I don't know why I didn't question it, but no, it's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't want to know where it comes from. It's beautiful as it is.
Okay, you know what? One of the funny things I seen, I'm not a big fan of memes. They're funny here and there. I just don't find them that funny. I don't even know if it was a meme, but I believe it was, and it was one of the pictures of him with the mustache, and
Murica?
It was saying, it was I don't whatever whatever you just said. I kind of went through one ear out the other. I didn't pick that up. But what I was saying was it was Chris Evans with the mustache, and it said, "Can somebody please get this?" Okay. It was it's Marvel hire him for J. Jonah Jameson. It was it was him as J. Jonah Jameson, but get me pictures of Spider-Man. I've seen a lot of those, and
yes,
thinking, hey,
I see those. Those
if he dies in Cap 4, you know what? Get him back as J. Jonah Jameson.
Yes, more
just
Chris Evans with the stash. That's sick.
Yes.
What I said was Murica, because there's this picture and it said America. Then it was, I forget. I'm doing it a disservice. The meme was way funnier, but it said America and it was regular Chris Evans, and it said Murica and it was the mustache. Yeah, I butchered it, but it was funny. That's what I said, and it went right through your head. That's all right.
Yeah, I was I didn't pick it up, so I'm trying to pick it up. When you hear something at first, you're what? And then it comes to you after.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if that was going to register. I was I whatever you just said. Now,
funny. All
okay,
right.
We've done good for time. I want to shout out one thing I totally forgot about, and you can give your 10 seconds thought on this. Is that Solo: A Star Wars Story is going to have its premiere at Cannes Film Festival a week before the movie has its worldwide release, and it won't be the first Star Wars movie to do it. However, in the new regime, it'll be the first one to premiere a week before its worldwide release. Two films that have premiered at Cannes Film Festival is Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. Now, quickly, what I'll say is I think that it is, for it to open a week, premiere it there, I do think that it is a showing hey, we don't think this movie is shit. However, you could totally argue, well, then why did Attack of the Clones premiere there? But a different time, and I don't know the exact time that it premiered there and when the release came out. But yeah, I totally forgot about that. I'll shout it out there if you have your thoughts. But other than that, I am done for today. We've done good on time, and I'm not going over that hour.
No, we're gonna keep it under that hour, and I'll just say that's unique because Cannes is a more prestigious artsy film festival that I know of. I believe it's like that. So to have a big blockbuster play there opening a week before it comes out is interesting to me. But I could be totally wrong with Cannes could be something completely different that maybe I'm just ignorant to. But that's interesting. I never would have guessed that was a thing, but. No, I'm happy I know. And that's about all I have to say. I think that was 10 seconds, maybe a little more, but there's my 10-second thought on that. So I'm tired.
I guess I'll say
outside. Holy shit.
I know, right?
Fuck.
Okay. I guess one other thing is April comes and Like you get your like initial winter over with, but in April you always get that one last snow.
I know.
And
I know.
People are saying it's getting so nice, and I'm like, just wait, we're getting one more snow before we get nice weather. But here it is, and hopefully it gets the fuck out of here because I hate cold weather and I hate snow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. I popped a tire on my car on the highway or something, and it was a winter tire. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just get my summer tires put on and hope it doesn't snow again.
Yeah,
and it snowed. So
here we go.
Yeah. But whatever. That's all.
I think this was a successful, nice episode 11.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for people who've listened, especially if you've listened this far. And I'll let you plug whatever you have to plug, and plug if I forgot something. And yeah, see you next week.
All right. Thank you for listening. Jake and Ben Show, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Be sure to give us 5 stars on iTunes. Subscribe to us on YouTube and our podcast so you don't miss an episode. Leave us a comment or a question, and we'll get back to it. Thank you to Jackson for the art and the intro, and that's all. Thank you very much for listening. That's most important. All right, bye-bye.